Kia ora e te iwi and welcome to UFC on Sky, ko Ravinda Hunia aho. Now, if you thought you had seen some spectacular UFC action this year already, the best is yet to come. UFC 275 is set to touch the ground in Singapore for the first time in its history. Featuring on that card will be Kiwi Welterweight Blood Diamond, and he joins us now. Kia ora, kia koe Blood, thanks for joining us.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Hey, this fight is exciting. This is the original matchup that you're supposed to have in your debut with Orion Cosce. So your thoughts about coming into this one?
Yeah, I mean, after the last fight, I just had to reset and, I have just turn on my brain again and assess what I did wrong in the last fight, and just looking forward to this one. I mean, previously we were working on my last camp, I was just fully working on dealing with Orion, but things change. I feel like all I'm just doing is just, I guess, picking up from where I left, but adding a few more skills.
And I'm guessing that would be probably a bit more of a comfortable environment to have a whole camp for one fighter and know that you're going to face this guy at the end. Just on your debut though, Blood, I know it's not the result that you wanted, but what did you take away from that, your first experience in the UFC?
Just be patient. Yeah, because, it's one of those, like, after the fight, I just looked at it and I'm like, that's not something I usually do. And yeah, I guess I was I was surprised. So it's just coming into this one, I just need to be more patient and keep on doing the same thing I've been doing and just enjoy it as I'm going.
It feels like it's going back into time a little bit and you're getting a do-over, hitting the reset button of sorts, especially going back to your original opponent. Does it feel that way?
It's for me. It's on to the next one. Okay, so we're just moving on instead of trying to dwell on the past or anything. Just keep evolving.
What can fans expect to see in this fight, Blood? I know you have a lot of tricks up your sleeve that you probably can't wait to put onto the UFC stage.
Definitely more patience and. Yeah, they'll get to actually see what I can do instead of just what we saw before,
Yeah. Talk to us about Orion, this fighter. He's not, a huge name in the UFC, so a lot of our viewers may not be so familiar with him. What can you tell us about him as a fighter?
He's been in the game for a while. Just like me, he suffered his first loss in his UFC debut. So he'll be definitely coming in strong and wanting, he'll be real hungry, just like I am. Strong wrestler. And yeah, I mean, right now I'm not paying too much attention to him. I mean, the way he's fought previously will not be the same way he's going to fight because, you know what they say, styles make fights. And the way I fight, he'll might be forced to fight some other way, but all I can do is just work on myself and work on the holes I have in my game. I know people are just like, all you gotta do is take him down and you got the fight. Well, okay, we shall see this time around. Really, so that's what I can say about that.
Yeah. In terms of the preparation, has the intensity maybe turned up a little bit, and what's been the feedback from Eugene ahead of this fight?
Well, I know that if I don't hear anything from Eugene, I'm doing something right. He only keeps me honest. So if he's usually quiet, I'm like, yeah, I think that the preparation is going well. But when he starts jumping in and just adding these things, it just tells me I gotta quickly adjust and quick improvements. Things have been going so well. I may not be on the same card with some of my training partners, but we are all in training camps, so we are all preparing at the same time. So yeah, it's a good feeling still.
Absolutely. It feels like someone in your gym is always preparing for a fight at any given moment. It's amazing to see. In terms of your preparation and coming off a result, that was less than desirable, how much mental preparation are you doing for this? You've tasted the UFC now, you've seen the big stage, you've felt all the hype. How much preparation mentally is involved this time around?
Yeah, definitely. I need to pick that up a bit more. I have been working out with Dave Wood, and yeah, he's been helping me out with my breathing training and also my mental training. And yeah, a lot of progress has been noticed. And I'm also am going to what is it called, work with my what's his name? Dave Neathy. He works with a lot of the athletes in New Zealand, and yeah, and he's what is it called, sports psychiatrist. Just gonna be working with Dave Neathy for a bit as well. So yeah, both Daves are gonna be helping me out mentally. So yeah, I'm gonna come in stronger, like mentally stronger than before.
That's awesome to hear. And you mentioned, the teammates, and we've said it's exciting that there's so much buzz around City Kickboxing. There almost always is. So what do you draw from your teammates? We've got Israel Adesanya, you can see his poster in the background there. He's got a fight coming up, UFC 276. So when you say that the guys are in camp, they well and truly are for big fights. What do you draw away from that energy?
I mean, it's just we just share the same energy, like we're all hyped. We all support each other, whether it is him in the UFC or some of the boys in the Eternal show or the local Shuriken show. It's just that energy, that vibe. No matter what it is, we always feed off each other, So yeah, we just real pumped right now. So really looking forward to that.
That's awesome. It's awesome to see you happy and ready to get back in there, get back on the horse again. Look, the UFC 275 going to Singapore for the very first time, and you're a part of it. It's a big deal. It's, history in the making for the UFC, so they're not throwing you in on little cards, are they?
Nah, I'm just jumping into the deep end. But hey, I say pressure make diamond, so yeah, bring it on.
Look, Blood, we are so very excited to see you come back and do great things at UFC 275. All the very best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The fight card for UFC 276 is slowly coming together and features friend of the show and UFC Featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, who is up against Max Holloway for a third time, something that fans have been waiting in anticipation for. And Alex joins us now. Kia ora and welcome back, Alex.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always good to have a chat. Always good to have a chat to you. Thank you for always having me on.
I was saying to you off camera, you've quickly become our most frequent guest on the show. We really appreciate it.
No worries, no worries. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, cheers.
Look, as I mentioned at the top, Max Holloway. It's a name and a fighter you know very well. You're both set for a trilogy fight. How did you feel when you heard that this is the fight locked in for you next?
Man, I was stoked. A lot of people would be like, oh, they're going to throw the third fight, you know what I mean? But I still think this is the biggest fight, biggest fight in our division that we could do right now. I wanted to be active. So if I'm going to be active and we have to have a fight ASAP, I don't want to just give just anybody a chance at the shot. It may as well be the biggest fight and whoever's really next in line. And, I believe that's Max, and a lot of people do believe that. And it's the biggest fight. That's going to sell the most. There's the most hype around it. Obviously, he's a big name. A lot of people still praise him for how good he is, So me going out and taking him out for a third time is really saying something when you talk about legacy and all that type of stuff. So it'll put me in a really good position once I go and do that July 2nd. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
You are quite active in the UFC at the moment too. So I was actually quite surprised to see the turnaround from your fight with Korean Zombie to this one. But how are you feeling about, pretty much back-to-back fights?
Man, I'm stoked. I'm glad I can do it. Usually, well, it's not easy to do when you're champion. I've always wanted to be active, and sometimes it just doesn't play out that way. I've been wanting to be active the last couple of years, but through COVID and all that type of stuff, obviously it made things hard through lockdowns and whatnot. But right now, I just want to get these fights going. You know what I mean? The hype is rolling. I want to keep that hype rolling. You know what I mean? Stay on everyone's mind and keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And that's why after a great performance, last 2 fights have been barn burners. So I'm ready to go out there and do it a third time while I'm in my prime too. I think it's a great time for me to have that trilogy. But for both of us, obviously, we both have had some really exciting fights since last time we met. So not only we're the two at the top, and we're going to have another crack at each other. We are showing that we're going out there and we're having some fun. The crowd and the fans are loving what we're doing in there. So a lot of people are going to be tuning in. So I can't wait to go put on a show and show my real dominance in this featherweight division.
Fighting a guy twice already obviously means you're so much more familiar with him, his habits, the things that he does naturally. When you think back to the first fight and then to the second fight, do you make comparisons? Do you see how he grew from the first to the second? Perhaps moving into this third one might change again, or how do you look back and look over it all, I should say?
Yeah, man, it's definitely because they've got a great team behind them. And they study, so not many people can do that. Not many people will do that. Teams won't really go into that fine detail and really worry so much about certain things to capitalize on. Usually people will just have a broader game plan, like, we're going to wrestle, put more pressure, little things like that. But, they're a team that they're going to change a fair bit to try and nullify things and all that type of stuff, which is which is pretty special to see teams that do that. Obviously I'm lucky enough to have the teams that we got that break fights down the way they do. And same for him. So I'm expecting that they're definitely going to have a game plan. They're definitely going to be looking at some of my later fights, but obviously I'm looking into that. I'm looking what they think that, what we think they might be planning on doing and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's sort of fun in a sense. It might be not as fun for my coaches because they've got to go right in and do a lot of studying and all that type of stuff. But I love the whole chess match thing about it. Like my style now is pretty much where it's at right now. It's a very calculated approach because of them fights with Max. You know what I mean? I've got this style that I've sort of come up with now is based around, fighting guys like Max and, figuring out people and, you know what I mean? And adapting on the fly and playing what's in front of me and all that type of stuff. If they give me this option, I'm going to take this and this. So it's sort of made me who I am. So that's why I think I'm sure he knows that this is going to be a very hard fight for him because I'm going to be very prepared. I'm going to be sharp. I'm going to be ready and I'm going to be putting hands on him. I'm planning on putting hands on that chin. He is hittable. We know that, but he's tough. He's got that granite chin. I know I've said in the past, I'm going to get the finish. I just said that, but right now, do I believe I got it? I think I've got a lot better chance of doing that than I did in my previous fights because of where I'm at right now. But I mean, if he does have this granite chin that he's so well known for, good on him, credit to him. But I mean, it's not going to be a fun night for him, I believe. That's how I feel like this fight is going.
And you two only fought each other, come fight night will be just under a year. That's not too, long apart when you think about it. And since then, you mentioned his results. He's beaten Rodriguez and Qatar by decision. Were there anything in those fights that you thought, oh, that's new, or oh, that's innovative or creative on the fly, something different to what you had seen in front of Holloway?
Obviously in the year, because Year gave him problems, right? I know the exact problems that Year gave him. That's why I was surprised with how Year approached that. I didn't expect him to do that. So I thought Max would be a bad matchup for him. But the fight he fought was a very clever fight, and that's why he made it hard for Max. Probably from fight study. Maybe his team done good study. Obviously, watching fights like mine and Max's and seeing little things that we did and ways to really break the rhythm and whatnot. But things that Max did was obviously the wrestling. He showed that wrestling. Usually doesn't need to do it. He overwhelms people with the striking and things like that. But with that one, he was having trouble. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh, this guy's on. Let's take him down this way. Is he going to wrestle me? maybe he might do that, maybe. But I mean, I don't think that's going to end well for him because he obviously tried to do takedowns in the last fight. You know, he wanted to win that last round. He tried to do this last-ditch effort to get me down. I ended up just turning him, and that just solidified that round for me as well, even more. So, you know, I think you know, he's going to understand it's not no easy task. But whether he wants to take it there, bring it on. Like I said, my style, I play what's in front of me anyway. We're going to have a game plan going in, but if he wants to wrestle, we'll wrestle. I love punching people's head through the canvas, so that'll be fun.
You know, as you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you've beaten him twice. And when we see a trilogy, 9 times out of 10, it's to put like a little, you know, rivalry to bed. You know, the trilogy is what settles it. You're coming in 2 up. So do you feel you have an advantage coming into this trilogy?
Do I have an advantage? I think, as in pressure-wise, like, yeah, I think I do. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I don't like. I look at this as a challenge in itself. Like, you know, who's in front of me? We know this is going to be a tough challenge and things like that. But pressure for him, man, this is big. You know, getting this fight. He's sort of lucky, and I've said this many times. He's lucky to be in a position where he's lost twice to me, but he's obviously from that last fight being so close, and a lot of people like still, you know, still praising him so much. He's still in a position where people are still mentioning his name in Go conversation, how good he is, and all that type of stuff. I think the pressure's on him now because he loses to me again, and the way I plan on doing it, all that goes away. You know what I mean? I think that his stocks are going to drop a lot if losing again to me. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of pressure's on him. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, I take every fight serious. Like, you know, I put the pressure on myself. And, you know, I try to put that pressure. Yeah, this is every fight's big. Even Korean Zombie. Look what I did to him. That's exactly what I expected to do to him. But at the same time, I put the pressure on me that this is going to be a tough fight. He might do this. I need to be on the whole. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I prepare for the worst. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I roll. But at the same time, if anyone's probably got more pressure, it's probably Max, knowing that he knows I didn't turn up the last one, and he still couldn't get the job done. And he knows I'm going to turn up this way. So he knows he needs to be on, really on. And I'm going to be on too. So obviously, again, I got a lot of respect for Max as a fighter and his team. I know he's going to bring it. He's going to be there. But I'm just going to show why I'm the the greatest featherweight of all time. And I think this fight definitely will solidify me as that. You know, people talk about GOAT and all that type of stuff. Yeah. You know, I think that definitely, I think that takes it. You know, taking supposedly someone else that's meant to be a GOAT of the division, take him out 3 times in his prime, you know what I mean? I don't think you need 9 defenses like Aldo did to sort of do that, especially with the competition that I've had. So, I just can't wait to go out there, do my thing, and watch everything explode after that. Obviously, the hype's going, everything's going very well for me, but after this one on this card, International Fight Week, obviously such a big card. The world's going to be watching. Everything's going to explode after this one. And then we go, then we look into that double champ status, you know what I mean? And all that type of stuff. Number 1 pound for pound, all that type of stuff. So a lot will happen after this one. That's why I wanted this fight, because I know it puts me in such a better position once it's done.
Yeah, that's so true. And of course, not taking anything away from Max Holloway, but in our last conversation, we did talk about you moving to the lightweight division and contesting that title, and how closely you would be watching Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje. First of all, what did you make of that fight? What did you like about it? And do you think you can come for that title anytime soon?
As I've said, I've had this conversation a couple of times. It's like, it's fun. It is fun to watch, and mate, he's dangerous. Yeah, dangerous and all that type of stuff, but this game it's a lot more than that. A lot of people forget a lot. They see the finish, even though someone could get dropped a couple of times and, things not looking good for them at all, but they turn it around and get a submission or a finish, all of a sudden they're the man. How good is this guy? I was like, mate, he literally showed you for the half of that fight that they were having that he's very beatable. And I don't mean this any disrespect. He's fighting killers at the same time, but, you get someone that's going to be a killer and not give you the opportunities that a lot of these opponents are going to have. you're going to be in for a long night. And that's I believe I'm that guy. Yeah, I'm moving up. I would move up a division if that happens and all that type. And they're going to go the weight and all this type of stuff. But power and strength isn't an issue for me moving up. So that's something that I am definitely, it's got me through my career. I fought a middleweight, I fought it, and usually my power and strength's got me through all them divisions. You know what I mean? Even through wrestlers, you know what I mean? And all that type of stuff. That isn't a drama for me. Then I'm going to have the speed advantage and then the fight IQ and all that type of stuff. I definitely think these guys are beatable. You know what I mean? Like, they can prove me wrong, but I'm gonna go do my thing, and I believe Dana sort of alluded to it. Because I don't think he needs to have any fights. If he wants that double champ status, let him defend. I think he meant let him defend, not defend a couple of times. He's talking about defend with Max. Let's make that champ fight happen. And I'm hoping we can get that in this year. But right now I've got Max to worry about. But that is definitely on the list. You know what I mean? I'm not a cocky guy. Like, it might sound like I'm being cocky. I'm not looking past. I am looking past. It's just because I'm confident in my abilities. And I have every right to be, you know what I mean? I want to visualize this sort of stuff. I used to shy away from thinking like that and all that, but I'm not gonna, because I definitely feel I'm in a position where I'm going to go out, dominate, show that I'm the greatest featherweight of all time, and pound for pound number one. And once I get that number one pound for pound, which I reckon I'll get after this one. If not, it doesn't matter. Who cares? But I can prove that definitely by taking that lightweight title as well. So, man, I'm going to be in a great position after this. I can't wait. And again, all respect to Max. He's going to bring it. He's a gamer. It's going to be a tough fight, but I'm just going to be too good at night. I'm going to show that July 2nd.
Yeah, exciting. The path forward is very exciting for Alexander the Great. Look, finally, before I let you go, Alex, UFC 276, it's another Anzac takeover. This time it's our Anzac champions. Both you and a middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, will be headlining this event at International Fight Week. It's pretty special.
Oh, it is, mate. It really is. It's incredible. So I didn't ever think, obviously, being from the same, well, not country, obviously, Australia, but I mean, same region, right? They don't usually, same market. So they don't usually have two top guys fight on the same card. They don't really need to. We've got to cover it. But I mean, I think now we're in a position where we're a little more global. You know what I mean? We're not just worried about just our region. So we cover a lot of ground now. So it's going to be good to be on the same card. You know what I mean? It's incredible. And I'm not, you know what, I'm not going to, there might even be someone else. I'll put that there. So we might have a few people. I'll leave it at that. There might be. But I mean, it's, yeah, as I said, it's going to be cool. Again, City Kickboxing is, their gym, like, so close to our gym. We're family, you know what I mean? Like, freestyle and City Kickboxing. It's pretty much, it's just affiliated gyms. We're like family. Like, we're all teammates. We all get along. And I cannot wait to do a little bit over there with the guys, and then see them back over there Fight Week and really get that feel, that family feel that we're going to have and go out there and kick ass. Last time me and Izzy fought on the same card was, I think, his debut in Perth. That was the last time we fought together. We went out, we done well, we done very well, and then we partied hard afterwards. So that's exactly what I plan on doing July 2nd. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. We're looking forward to it too, and not to mention it'll be quite a busy night for your coach as well, we can imagine. Thank you so much, Alex, for your time as always, and hopefully we can catch up before your fight as well.
No worries. Thank you.